Somewhere I Belong, Chapter 4, A Prank Too Far. Twilight woke up to an ear-splitting scream coming from the hallway. She looked out of her room to see Spike standing outside of Isaac's door. She threw on her robe and hurried over beside the purple dragon. "Spike, what was that?" "I don't know. I was just walking back from the bathroom when I heard a scream coming from his room," he said with a shrug. Twilight hurried over to the door and knocked 3 times. "Isaac, are you okay in there?" "Go away," he bellowed. "What's wrong?" "Did you hex me or something while I was asleep?" he yelled. "What? No." "Well, someone must have." "Why? What's wrong?" "I can't say." "How can I help you if—" She was cut off by someone knocking at the door. Twilight motioned for Spike to deal with the visitor. Spike opened the door to see Rainbow standing there with a concerned look on her face. "Hey, Spike, what was that scream I heard?" "Something's wrong with Isaac." "What?" "He refuses to come out of his room for some reason," he said with a shrug. Rainbow made her way inside and met up with Twilight outside the door. "Oh, good. Thanks for the help, Rainbow," she said with a sigh. "Isaac, you in there?" Rainbow said as she put her ear to the door. "No." "Come out and we'll help you." "No way in hell." "Are you sick?" "No." "So what's wrong?" "I don't know." There came another knock on the door. Spike opened it to see the white unicorn standing with her arms across her chest with an annoyed look on her face. "What is that horrendous shouting?" she asked in an annoyed voice. Rarity made her way upstairs to see Twilight and Rainbow. "Something's wrong with Isaac and he won't tell us." Rarity walked over and gave a small knock. "Isaac, dear, what's wrong?" "You don't want to know." Another knock from the door was heard. Spike let out a heavy sigh and saw the orange cowgirl standing there with a worried look on her face. "Howdy, Spike." "Hey, AJ." "What's all the holler about?" Spike pointed to the upstairs where the other 3 mares were standing. "Look, Isaac, why don't you retrace your steps and we'll see if anything seems out of the ordinary. Okay?" Twilight said in a concerned tone. "Okay, I went to work with AJ, had lunch, then went to Rarity's shop to get my shirt fixed. Then Rainbow, the girls, and I went into the forest to see Sakura. Rainbow left on her own. Then I took the girls back. I went back to get Sweetie Belle's bag. I came back out and went to sleep. The end." "Did you touch anything while you were in the forest?" "No, wait. I tripped and fell into some kind of bush." "What bush? What did it look like?" AJ asked. "I don't know. It was too dark to see. But when I got back here, my back was covered in blue petals. They looked like they came from a flower." The mares looked at one another in surprise. "Do you still have them?" Twilight asked. "Yeah, hang on a second." The girls heard the sound of walking and something sliding on the floor. The door opened and the trash can slid out into the hallway. Twilight levitated the contents and saw 3 blue flower petals. "Is that—" "Yep," Twilight said as she remembered the blue-colored petals. "Isaac, I've got good news. I know what caused your problem." "What?" "You must have fallen into a patch of poison joke," she said as she examined the petals. "Poison what?" "It's like poison oak, but instead of making you itchy, it plays a small prank on you," Rainbow added. "This does not qualify as a small prank." "There's a cure for it. All you need to do is take a herbal bath." "Good. Do you have the recipe?" "No, some pony checked the book out 2 days ago, and I don't remember the recipe offhand," Twilight said with a defeated look on her face. "So we just wait until they come back?" he said in an annoyed tone. "We could do that, or we could go to Aloe and Lotus," Rarity interjected. "Who are they?" "They run the local spa, and Sakura gave them the recipe for the cure." "Will it even work on me?" "It's worth a shot," Rainbow said. A long silence hung over the group. "Okay, I'll come out. Just try not to laugh," he said in a low tone. The door opened and the mare's jaws dropped at the sight. Isaac stood there with significantly longer hair, a much more curvy physique, and a set of breasts. Isaac's face turned bright red as he looked at the mares. Applejack was covering Rainbow's mouth to prevent laughter. Isaac let out a sigh at the mare's state. "Just get it out of your system," he said with a hand raised. Rainbow exploded in laughter and fell to the ground, clutching her side. "It turned you into a mare? Priceless!" she said as she began to cry. "Laugh it up, Rainbow," he said as he reached inside the trash can and rubbed the petals in her hair. Rainbow shot back just in time to start feeling a chain reaction occur. The ponies looked in surprise to see her vibrantly colored hair turn white as snow. Rainbow looked in the mirror and yelled in surprise. Looks like we're in the same boat. Why did it work so quickly? It usually takes hours for it to take effect, Twilight said in surprise. Probably because of my oil. What oil? Humans secrete a type of oil from their skin, which tends to spread the oils produced by poison ivy and poison oak. Looks like it does the same with poison joke. Hey, I can do this rhyming shit too, Isaac said with a smirk. Rainbow glared at the human with daggers in her eyes. Let's get you two to the spa, Rarity said as she walked past the group. Isaac threw the hood over his head. Rainbow did the same with her cyan hoodie. The two followed the group of mares into the street. As long as no pony sees us, we should be... Hey guys! The group looked over to see Vinyl rush over to them. God damn it. Hey, have you seen Isaac? Rainbow had a sly grin on her face. Isaac made the slicing throat motion with his thumb. No, I haven't seen him all day, AJ said as she threw on a bad poker face. Then who's that? She said as she pointed to the dark hooded figure. Twilight didn't finish as Rainbow ripped the hood off the human's head. Vinyl let out a gasp at the now female human. Isaac quickly threw the hood back on his head and looked back at the mare with a cross look on his face. What was that? Isaac fell into a patch of poison joke and, well, Twilight said. So it turned him into a mare? The others nodded in agreement. Vinyl then saw the human lower his head. Sorry, Isaac. If it's any consolation, I turned pink when I got hit with that stuff. Why were you looking for me anyway? He said as he kept his face covered. Wanted to see if I could listen to some of your tunes. Fine, just wait until I fix this. And please don't tell anyone about this. Deal, she said with a smile. Meet you at the shop when you're done. Isaac nodded as she walked away. Didn't see that coming, AJ said. Let's just get this over with, he said in a low tone. Rarity led the group into the spa, and they were greeted by two mares, one pink and the other bright blue. Hello, girls, Rarity said with a smile. Good morning, Miss Rarity. How can we help you today? My two friends here had a little poison joke accident. We were wondering if you had the recipe. Of course. Just give us a few moments to get it ready for Miss Dash and... Who is your friend? Oh, this is an acquaintance of mine from out of town. Very well, right this way, she said as she led the human and cyan mare into the bathhouse. You can use the baths at the end of the row. We'll also need your clothes, Lotus said as she pointed to the basket. Why? We need to soak them in water so the toxins get washed out, and don't cause the same problem when you're done, Aloe said. They'll be ready when we get done? Rainbow asked. The blue mare nodded and handed each of them a towel. Isaac quickly took off the garments and wrapped the towel around his body. He averted his eyes as Rainbow undressed. Isaac made his way over to the bath and submerged himself from head to toe. He felt his skin begin to tingle and his bones reshape to their original size. Isaac stuck his head out of the water just below his eye level. He looked up to see the cyan mare get into the tub next to him. He quickly submerged his head and held his breath. Okay, don't panic. There's an extremely attractive... Don't even finish that sentence. She's not a girl. She's a thing. Not cool. You know I'm right. She's a mutated horse. So, back home there's speculation that humans are monkeys. That's not the point. She's not human. Her name is Rainbow. Like it matters. It does. They've shown me nothing but kindness since I've arrived here, and have treated me with more respect than I ever got back at home. Rainbow is a friend, and... He stopped as he realized he had spent all of his stored air. Isaac grabbed the sides of the tub and brought his normal upper body to the surface. He sat up panting and taking in the sweet-smelling air. You okay? Isaac looked over to see that Rainbow's hair was starting to return to its normal 6-color spectrum. You were down there for so long. I thought you drowned, she said as she put her arms back over her head. Isaac felt himself blush and quickly averted his eyes. Sorry for turning your hair white, he said, still looking away. Sorry I laughed at you, she said with sympathy in her voice. It's fine. I'm used to it. What do you mean? She asked, as she rested her chin on her hands. I'm not exactly the most respected member of my group of friends, he said as he laid the back of his head on the tiled edge. Why? You're a nice guy. That doesn't count for much back on my world. They're not friendly? Not really. Save a few, he said as he felt his hair grow back to its proper size. But you showed me a picture of those other humans. Those two are the exception, and even then, They get on my nerves sometimes, he said in a low grumble. How? The other guy I showed you is my oldest friend, but he's a massive show-off. So am I, she said in a cocky tone. Yeah, but you're not a show-off all the time, he said as he looked at the mayor. He is constantly going off on how he's the best at everything. It gets old really quick, he said as he let out a grunt. What about the girl? Allie? She's nicer and a bit more down to earth. However, she has horrible taste in guys. How so? She always goes for the big, strong, dumb as dirt jocks. Things are great for the first 3 months. Then he goes and cheats on her with his ex or some other girl. And guess who has to be there to pick up the pieces? He said as he pointed to himself. It's unfortunate, but she never learns, he said in an annoyed tone. Okay, no offense, but that's kind of mean. I was very sympathetic at first, but over the years, she turned me into a cynic. With her constant ignorance and stupidity, he said as he leaned his head back. Oh God, he said as he felt a blunt pain below his stomach.